So I'm gonna walk around and show y'all where I started offline from the ground, what it looks like. This guy contacted me yesterday. This is at the River Birch golf course here in Amory, Mississippi. And this is a wedding venue that he has, or just a, a venue location. Those things are quite popular these days. So he called me yesterday, which was Saturday. It's Sunday afternoon right now, and he said, man, he said, I've got a venue location in Amory at the golf course, and I've got a wedding this weekend, this coming weekend. I was like, holy cow, that's a hoss of an oak right there. But that's not the worst of it. So I met with him a while ago. He came out here, and of course all the utilities right here, they got the gas turned off the whole city right now because there's so much stuff tore up, clay rooted. He said not only do I got a wedding this next weekend, but I think he said the next 4 weekends he's booked with stuff. Got a couple of proms coming up. So this is the top of a big oak. It's actually on the building. I'm gonna walk y'all around here and show you how large that oak is over there that's on top of the building. So that's a monster oak right there that's on the pergola, gazebo, whatever you want to call it, harbor. Squirrel running. Squirrel's like, man, my house is gone, dude. This is a stud of a tree right here. And see, got lights. There's wires and everything. You talking about painful to deal with, because it's smashed in the ground so bad right there. And you got wire, like I said, there's wires everywhere. So hackberry. This one here, this laying right there, that's going to be a pecan. There's another pecan. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, plus the other side of that hackberry is 5. But check this monster out. 6, and so there's 7 trees here down. Excuse me. That's a monster right there, y'all. And it's kind of into the building. It has busted the bricks on that wall, the side of it. So obviously there's a lot of force from that tree laying on it. There's wires in it. Plus, look at this. It's done snatched all this stuff out. The plumbing. There's a whole bunch of looks like speaker wire right there, maybe running through there. Plus, you see all them different color wires up in there too. And look, the whole town is like this. I mean, it dang near wiped Amory slap off the map. This is about 25 miles north of me in a straight line. And they got all kind of landscaping out here too, man, that you don't want to damage no more than, I mean, you're talking about a lot of money in each of these little pods right here, you know what I mean? What always gets me about storms, man, you can work your tail off your entire life to build something, and in a matter of a snap of your fingers, it's all gone. And it can be a storm, a hurricane, windstorm, derecho, whatever they're called, tornado, fire, mudslides. See, look at all this wire here. None of us are immune to this, any of this stuff. There's wires everywhere. Now, if you were to start grinding, because he had, they've got sound everywhere out here. So you got all that. You were to start grinding, oh goodness, it would be bad. Let's see. That's going to be some sort of timer right there. Probably a light timer. And that's attached to that tree. If I cut the lights on and off. Side over here is there's nothing. Of course, there's nothing over here except for these crepe myrtles. And he told me, I told him, I said, you know, look, you know, you're already, things are bad enough as is. And I said, you don't want to push things and try to have some here. I said, there's trip hazards everywhere, but look at this. Look at that up there. Can you imagine somebody walking up under here at your venue, limb falls out of that tree, dislodges out of that tree, drops, bam, hits them, kills them, mangles them up. It's gonna be over with for you, you know what I mean? I think that tree looks like it's been struck by lightning before. That tree needs to come down. I mean, it has no business being right there. That tree needs to come down. Because I mean, the top's gone, completely gone out of it. Matter of fact, it's out there in that road out there. Pieces. Oh, I see. So these pieces of this tree right here came from that thing there. Yeah, that tree needs to come down. It's actually been compromised until it's actually, the wind caught it and pushed it that way. The top of it was, well, there's the top of it out there. All the way across the other side of the parking lot. Look at them light poles, them metal light poles, whacked all of them right through there too. So this is on kind of would be the southern edge of the line where it came through. You can see that building over there. It took all the shingles off of it. Got those pecans over there. But anywho, we'll see. I'm sure I'll be up here doing something. It's gonna take a while to clean this one up. It's not good. And it just seems like, I mean, every time we turn around, there's one of these freaking storms. We're supposed to get more storms tonight, which is March the 26th. All right, hope y'all enjoyed that little tour around. We'll try to work my way out of here. They got so much law up here, it's crazy. They pretty much got every road that goes into town blocked by either a game warden or a trooper or some law enforcement. You can only get around in certain places. So there's a big power line over there, and see all the way across over there toward that building. There's a tree laying on it, got it pulled out, all that wire pulled, they let it loaded down. So yeah, if you're watching this video and you're up here and working, do be careful, because this stuff is so dangerous. I mean, everything you stick a saw in is trying to kill you. So you gotta look at it. You can see that big pine from this side. Yeah, that tree's got to come down. Ain't no need leaving that stupid thing standing. All right, catch y'all later. Later, taters. We're gonna take the drone up. Start off. This is the venue, flying over it. I'm just gonna kind of narrate along as I fly along, see certain things. I want to look down at this to kind of see what it looked like, and it's going to be a little difficult to get them trees out of there. I don't know whether I'll end up doing that job or not. I'm not sure, because this is a golf course. This is Highway 278 that you see right here. The cars are on, about to go over. That's looking back toward the west. This is kind of one of the main areas where the heart of the tornado came over. You can see the amount of trees that are down on the ground right here. That road that you can see that's kind of at the middle left of the screen, that car on it, that's the road that the Amory chip mill is on. It used to be a Weyerhaeuser mill years ago, and they sold it to Domtar, and it's technically called Amory Chips now, or at least last time I knowed it was called Amory Chips. You can see all the stuff. You're looking at the chip mill. That pile looks like a pile of sand over there. That's actually wood chips. This open area that we're coming to now, that's a cemetery that's directly across the road from the chip mill. You can see the power guys down there trying to put the power back up. All lines back up and get them back in shape, because those lines probably feed this industrial park over here. Again, this is a pretty large cemetery that I'm flying over right now. Chip mill, you can see the crane. We're gonna make a big loop and come back. I did like 28,000 feet. That's the Tombigbee River that you can see right there. You can see the chip mill pretty good now. You can see the crane where they unload the trucks. I've unloaded lots and lots of logs at the mill, and those little dome-looking things that were over to the left, I've never known what those are. Like I said, I've been up there tons of times. Never know. So I'm sure somebody from Amory will know and can tell me what they are. But you can see where the tornado come through. This is kind of coming into the town of Amory. There is no mistaking the path of the tornado. Look at it straight. That's it right there, the lane right there. You're looking back toward the river again. That's a rail bridge over there. And if I'm not mistaken, I think that's a rail bridge over there. But yeah, you can see everything just looks different. And that's where the tornado ran through. Lots of houses right through here. Lots and lots of houses. All right, so right in the center of the screen, those metal buildings right there, that's a pellet mill. That's I don't know if it's still in Viva or not, but it was in Viva, maybe. But they made pellets there, wooden pellets. And you'll see here in just a little bit, it whacked it pretty bad. One of the main buildings, it collapsed it all the way. I feel really bad for the people up here. Yeah, you can see it now. Messed it up. And this is kind of the heart of town right here, right straight in front on the other side of the pellet mill. That's almost the heart of Amory right there. We've logged up here so many times over the years, and I've cut through all these roads in Amory. A lot of old buildings there, a lot of old history there. Cool place. Like I said, look at that straight out. This is it's still in Amory, but it's pointed toward, that's the river, that water up there. That's the river where the lock and dam is. Kind of pointing toward the next town up from this is Smithville, Mississippi. Look at all that, though. There's probably not a house in this shot right here that does not have some damage to it. Each day that goes by, there'll be more and more blue tarps put up on the roofs. This Main Street on the right there, where it's got that bend, you can see all the downtown buildings right there on both sides of the street, and the curve. There's a little old Dairy Queen. It's not a Dairy Queen, it's a little ice cream shop. I forget what they call it, but man, when we were working up there at Smithville or anywhere above Amory, if we were working at Highway 6 or anything, on Fridays when I come through, every Friday, I always stopped at that little dairy bar and got me like a Reese's Blast or a Butterfinger Blast. They made them right there, man. Them son of guns were so good. God, dog. Man, I looked for Fridays every day I come through there, man, because I wanted one of them blast things. I mean, it's way better than Sonic. Well, makes them. This is going back toward the boat factory right there, that big, large area building right there that I'm kind of coming up on now. That's where they build the boats at. Look at all the debris everywhere. Just all over the place. That's Highway 6 on the right. Right there. That's the boat factory. Looks like it took a pretty good look. You can see the rail right there, rail line right there. Kind of pointed back to the south again. kind of flying back a little bit toward the golf course where I took off from. There's the pellet mill on the left. You see all the railroad right there, all the rail lines. And that's right there smack dab in the middle of the town. I mean, right off of Main Street where all that goes down at. This road right here runs right beside the pellet mill. That's a kind of a shortcut, cut-through road. And that's the way I'd run to get back over here. It goes back to 278, comes out right there, pretty close to where Larry Clark Chevrolet is. And I'd buzz down through there. I've been down that road hundreds of times. A lot of stuff messed up. Still flying back kind of toward the north. The golf course kind of to the right top of the screen. Up there is where it's at. You know, it's like I said when I was walking around on the ground. You know, you work your entire life building something, and I mean, you can't control Mother Nature. Just not going to happen. And we have these storms all the time. I can remember the first one I remember was back in the 70s. So I looked at my battery, and I'm going to make me a loop back toward the chip mill here, but because I had enough battery to keep on flying. But back in the 70s, we had a bad storm come through. In my great aunt's place, which Dad now owns, had a bunch of gigantic oaks in front of the house. There was a line of them, like 3 of them in front of the house. And there was one beside the house that I remember. And that storm come through and blew down every one of those oaks. It was like I was probably either in the first or second grade, late 70s. And it put them trees in. I remember it took my daddy and my great uncle forever to hack those things up. And one of them actually stayed there, the first log trunk part of it, for years, till we finally started logging and got a skidder, and we moved that thing one time. Used to play on the stump of it all the time. So flying back toward the chip mill now, because like I said, I had enough battery. I didn't have enough battery to go back out as far as I was a while ago, but I decided I'd make another run out this way. And what's so bad is as I'm doing this voiceover tonight on Sunday night, March 26th, and that's when I filmed this today on Sunday afternoon. Well, we're getting this pouring down rain here right now. So, you know, think about the people that don't have roofs protected, or may not even have a roof on their house right now. You know, don't have a tarp on it. Roof's completely gone. It's gotten rained in today or tonight. This gives you a good view of the chip mill. There's the scales on the left, one of the main buildings right there. It tore up somewhere like their shop buildings. See, that's the debarker. The crane drops into it. And then the chipper is inside that funny looking building, kind of right there where the conveyor belts come out from. That's where the chipper's at. Again, I don't know what those dome-looking things are over there. I'm sure somebody will watch this and they'll know what that is and comment, because I've always wondered. I've seen them forever. Just didn't know what they were. Yeah, see their work buildings. That metal Seco building looks like it held up pretty good right there. So a little interesting fact about the Amory chip mill right there. The scales are used to be not real sporty, because it was one of those sets of scales that, if you didn't line up perfectly on those scales, you blow out 2 tires. You'd catch them on the I-beams and blow out 2 tires every time you went across them. And we had many sets of tires ruined there on those scales. As a matter of fact, one day we had a truck came back to the woods, and all he had was an axle stub on the trailer sticking out. He lost a complete set of duals, the hub, the brake drum, the whole 9 yards. Dad jumped in his truck, and he went to Amory up here in the mill. Dad jumped in his truck and went back up there in the mill, turned around, and when he came out the road that the mill's on and went to make a left on the 278, he looked out there across 278 in the woods, and he seen the tires out there. So he called me. I went and got a trailer, came back, and we used a winch on my truck and winched those things out and rolled them up on the trailer. Now I'm coming back to the golf course. So let me know what you think and all that. I enjoyed putting this together. I just hate everything. Looks like it does up there. So we'll catch y'all later. Later, taters.